Welcome everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we have a special guest on the show. This is Shane Gitmed. Shane is a property owner in Georgia, except she rents it out right now. So she currently resides in California and she rents in Georgia. She's here to talk to us a little bit today about the home she rents out, the tenants. Um, and Shane is also host of your Carpe Diem Living podcast.
Yes, thank you. No, thank you for the intro. I'm happy to be here on your show today, and I'm really excited to talk about the process of owning a house out of state. So my house is in Hinesville, Georgia, in a military town, and it is a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath home.
Cool. Okay, so you said the house is in Hinesville, Georgia. You currently have tenants living there right now, you said?
Yes, I do. This is the second family. The first family lived there for a year, and then the current family has signed for 3 years.
Oh, nice. Do you know what made there's decisions that go into the factor of, how long you have to wait to get tenants or stuff like that? Or you just is there a certain lease you try to have the tenant sign on for, or you just usually do what the tenant's like comfortable with?
I say at least minimum 1 year, ideally at least 2. That way you're not worrying about having to find a new family each time. The property manager that I use is Remax All American. So that's has been the biggest thing that's been really helpful throughout the process, because they do, the application process, they do the credit check, background check, all that good stuff. And you have the control to mention if you're going to allow pets. And sometimes they can even, it's kind of weird, but you can even negotiate rent. So sometimes they'll ask oh, can you lower it by a little bit? And if you're the owner, you have the control to say yes, no, and all that good stuff.
Gotcha. Sure. So you had the home built, right?
Yes. I had it built, brand new. And I had it built while I was in the process of moving there. So while I was moving from Texas, it was already going on. So the realtor was managing it.
How did you go through the process of getting the floor plan mapped out and stuff like that? And how was that process?
Yeah, so this home builder in particular already had certain lots that they were already planning on building, and then they pretty much just give you the option, what kind of home do you want? This is what we have available, and then from there, once you choose, do you want a 2-story home? Do you want on a corner lot? Square footage? So as you go through the details, they narrow down where your house will be located in the neighborhood, depending on the land. And then after you figure all of that, you can choose all the other details, right? What kind of floor you want, paint, crown molding, no crown molding. So it was really nice to see the updates week after week from my realtor, because she would just go there, take pictures. And I think communication is really important for that kind of stuff, because you would hate to move in and then you realize, oh my gosh, this is not what I was expecting or what I asked for, and all of that.
You're renting the property out right now. You said that you have current tenants that stay in there. How much rent do they pay right now? And how much equity pretty much has gone up in the property since you've owned it in the last 5 years?
Yeah, so I currently rent it for $1,500. That's actually on the higher end for the rate and in that area. I actually just checked Zillow before this, and that's actually the Zestimate. So I guess I was right on cue of pricing. So obviously my mortgage is lower than that, so there is a little bit of profit there. As far as equity, I don't have the exact number on me at the moment, but I do plan on refinancing, so I can profit a little bit more based on today's low rates. So
Gotcha, for sure. The current family that stays in there, they just signed a 3-year lease, so it'd be from till 2022.
Well, this past December, they had would have been there 2 years, right? And so I would assume they were planning on moving, but due to the current situation of our world, I'm sure they're staying put for a while longer. So they ended up extending for 1 more year. So at the end of 2021 is when they'll either renew again or leave their lease. So, but the great part is, since it's in a military town, there is a lot of people coming in and out, a lot of families. So there's always a demand to rent. And since it is a larger home with of the style of it, usually it's a whole family. It's not just like a couple. Usually they have kids, dogs, and I welcome animals, pets at my house. So yeah, there's a lot of space for
Pet
it.
friendly.
Mhm.
Pet friendly, because you said it was part of, I know in previous conversations you said it was part of the homeowners association, so you got to keep the land and upkeep and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did that come into a current factor when you were like trying to purchase the land and the area coming around it, the schools? Did you plan on we know the viewers don't know you have a son right now, but
Yeah.
did you plan on sending your son to a certain school and stuff like that when he was around the area? Did you plan on living there for a couple years? I mean, I'm sure you did when you were building it.
Yeah, I envisioned myself being there at least 3 years, since that's usually the minimum when you get orders somewhere. Whether I was going to have a child or not while I lived there, wasn't sure, but ended up happening. But he most likely would have ended up going to school on base or through Liberty County. That's the name of the county there.
Yeah.
But with HOA, I mean, overall, they're pretty good as far as what they allow you to do and not. When you compare HOA in California versus over there, so there's already by default a lot of land, a lot of space. So you don't really have to worry about like overcrowded streets or like blocking, the roads, versus in California, parking is a huge issue. So there's always cars everywhere. But overall, the HOA is in place just to make sure everyone feels safe. The neighborhood stays clean, looks nice. And they also manage the community pool, the park, and we also had a fountain there. And as they're expanding, they're going to add another one on the other side. So, I mean, other than like farm animals, you can just about have anything, any pet there. So I would have loved to have, some chickens in the back or something, but I would have had to move to a different county for that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, sounds nice. Sounds like you had everything planned out accordingly. Are you planning on any more like investment properties now that you've pretty much managed this one, since you're the property manager of it? You built it and everything like that. Or have you thought about getting a property manager since you're not out there to see it all the time?
Well, since Remax All American is managing the house, I think if I were to ever do real estate investing, I mean, super situational, right? Like where the house is located. I feel like I personally would start out with homes that are local to me so I can physically go. And then as I build my portfolio, then I can start adding, people to my team to manage it for me. I love to make things as simple as possible and less of a headache. So if I have to hire people, I won't hesitate. So
For sure. So yeah, you always go the short route. So
yeah.
all right. Anything else you want to add about the house or anything like that?
No, I just think when you're buying a house, make sure you work with a great realtor like yourself, and make sure that you have the right support with you. So realtor, property manager, and you'll be a-okay. So
All right, for sure. Well, thanks for having you on today, Shane. It's been great, and thanks for coming on and talk about the property in Hinesville, Georgia. Obviously, if anybody needs anything, reach out to me for questions, anything like that, and go listen to Shane's podcast, Carpe Diem Living Podcast. And she's also got some other adventures going on too. So, all right, Shane, thanks for having it on, and
thank
we'll talk to you
you.
later.
All right. Have a great day, guys.
All right, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we have a special guest, Shane Gitmed. Me and Shane go way, way back. So let's get started. So you want to tell us a little bit about our house? So you want to tell us a little bit about our house? Yeah, about our house. Sorry. Let's restart it. Let's restart the whole thing.
It's just funny how you caught that too. We were doing so good. It was like I thought we were gonna be able to do it in one take.
Oh, damn you. You talked too much about this home.
That was so funny.
All right. Okay. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about your house in Georgia? So, you want to tell us a little bit about your house in Georgia?